Hi, I'm Naomi, and welcome to Creating a Home Practice. Before we begin, let's take a moment and make sure that we have all that we may need. A yoga mat, and if you don't have a yoga mat, a beach towel, a cushion or pillow, and a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. If you want 2 yoga blocks, you can use Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows alongside with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. They're both the same size, probably because they're the saddest books in the entire series. Moving on, we're going to be going through some philosophy, and at the very end of our final relaxation, a written exercise. If you intend on staying until the end to participate in the written exercise, or you're a note taker, I suggest having a notebook and pen at hand. Having a home practice is carving out a moment to cultivate an attitude, a desired attitude. In yoga philosophy in Sanskrit, there are 3 attitudes, and these 3 attitudes create a structure called the gunas. On one end of the spectrum, there is a tamasic state of being or energy. This tamasic state can feel heavy, stagnant, like there's a pile of rocks underneath you. We flow throughout the day to the other end of the spectrum to a state or an energetic state called rajasic attitude. This attitude could look a bit more fiery, agitated, energetic, like a blaze. At the top of the pyramid, there's an energetic state called sattva. This attitude is one of feeling connected to bliss, well-being, or intent. Having an intention or a phrase that tethers us to a virtue that serves can expand our capacity of getting out of a tamasic state into a rajasic state, or vice versa. So for example, if you're in a state of disappointment and that's not serving you, you can use a little of that fire energy to move through and maybe experience experience a different attitude, such as anger, which could be more healthy than just sitting in disappointment. Or if you're in a state of rage, you can use a little bit of that cool tamasic energy to settle. Now, throughout a day, we could be going back and forth between these 2 energetic states. Having an intention or a tethering pole can bring us into a state of peace or well-being, connectedness, and bliss. And when we're in that state and aware of it, we can withstand our capacity to be in bliss longer, or to move quickly out of rajasic or tamasic into a state or an attitude that serves. There are 5 layers of being, and taking care of these 5 layers can also bring us back into a savatthi state. These 5 layers of being are called the koshas. The first kosha is our body, not just our physical body, but our environment. our breath body, our inhales and our exhales, and our body of energy, where we expend our energy throughout a day. The third state, or the third layer of being, is our thoughts and our emotions. One of my favorite and first yoga teachers, Kobe Kozlowski, often uses the expression that our psychology and our physical selves are so linked. If I have a thought, it will affect my physicality. If I change my physicality, perhaps I will have a new thought. Our fourth state is our witness body, the ability to create a healthy distance from identifying too much with our thoughts and our feelings, such as I am mad rather than I'm experiencing anger. And in this state of healthy detachment, being able to make a clear choice that serves. And our last layer of being is our bliss body, our state of feeling intentful, our sattva state. And having a moment to ourselves, or a at-home yoga practice, opens up many gateways of taking care of ourselves holistically, taking care of our bodies by moving our spines, but also taking care of our bodies in that I was once traveling, and my host father and I were having a discussion of yoga. And I don't know if it was lost in translation or that he's just a yoga teacher and doesn't know it. But he said, oh, yoga. Yeah, I practice yoga every day when I wake up and I open my door and I take a breath in because I'm just in awe of my backyard and I breathe underneath the trees. I do yoga all the time. And I'm like, yeah, yes, you do, Abu Muhammad. You practice yoga every day just by taking care of your breath, just by taking care of your body, getting water if you need to get water, resting when you need to get rest. One of my favorite body cares is skincare, and that takes our yoga practice from just being physical asana and physical care to like off the mat living yoga. Every time you drink a glass of water, you practice yoga. Every time you've taken a breath and witnessed your inhales and your exhales, or moved with your breath, you've practiced yoga. Every time that you've had a thought and made and was witnessing, had a thought and then witnessed your thought and were able to change your thought to impact your emotion, you've practiced yoga. And every time that you've connected to your bliss, to have an ideal moment or a day that it was just really easy to be you, and you connected to that flow of ease, and were able to be an awareness of your bliss, a joyful moment, a moment of gratitude, you've practiced yoga. Some recommendations as we move into our physical practice now is to take care of your body by listening to it. If there is a pose that if there is a pose, how do I want to say this? If there is a pose that I am in that doesn't feel good to you, for example, if I'm in downward dog and your body is craving child's, go rogue. Vice versa, if I'm in child's and you want to do in a full expression or a more challenging pose that's already within your practice, like make this mat, make this time your own. Asana in Sanskrit, the physical, what is traditionally known as the physical postures of yoga, translates to steady and comfortable. If you are in a pose and there's any sensation of tightness, pulling, strain, pain, back out, take a moment and breathe. I'll be offering modifications, or if you already are familiar with how your body would feel most comfortable and pain-free, find that shape. If you are holding a comfortable and steady pose while maintaining breathing and your body is not in pain, you've done yoga. And also, please feel free to tend to your life. If you need water, if you need to pause this video at any moment because a child or a pet needs you, or you just feel like you've gotten what you need for the day and it's time to move on, press pause, come back when you're ready. I'll be here. It's the internet. I will be here. So let's first begin by finding a comfortable seat. If you want to rearrange so that you're sitting underneath a cushion or a block. Feeling your sits bones on the earth. Allowing your eyes to shut if that feels comfortable and safe for you. Spine long. Shoulders broad and back, creating space in the chest and lengthening through the crown of your head. Hands can be in the lap, or perhaps palms together, thumbs at the chest. And take a few moments to follow your breath naturally. Notice if it's choppy or smooth, shallow or deep. Coming into natural state and drawing to mind a word or a phrase, a virtue that brings you to a state of bliss, and cultivate an attitude that's desired and served. On your next exhale, drawing ear to shoulder, you can place fingertips on the side of you and stretch into the fingertips of the head, keeping spine long. And then on your following your exhale, drawing chin to chest. And then inhaling opposite ear to opposite shoulder, pressing into the fingertips, elongating the stretch. And your choice, depending on what is safe for your body, continue making use, tracing one shoulder, one ear to shoulder, and then, or drawing full circle, allowing chin, tip of the nose, and eyes to rest on the ceiling, making full neck rolls. One way. And then on your next inhale, reversing direction, going opposite way. warming up the neck. Inhaling to center. Drawing palms together, thumb resting on the chest. Inhale, arms up.